What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bekah and I share all kinds of planning tips and hacks for your Disney World vacation, as well as vlogs from our latest Disney adventures. So if that interests you, I would love for you to hit that red subscribe button down below. It really helps to support the channel. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and make sure that your bell notifications are on. That way you can be the first to know when I post my next video. All right, today I'm sharing 10 mistakes to avoid on your Disney vacation. And a lot of these have the potential to even ruin your Disney vacation, and nobody wants that. So let's go ahead and dive into it. The first mistake to avoid is over planning. Now, going along with that is the mistake of not planning at all, but I feel like it's more common for families to over plan their vacation. Maybe this is a once in a lifetime vacation or a once in a 5 or 10 years kind of vacation, and so you feel like you have to pack as much as possible in. And maybe it has been years since the last time you were at Disney, and there are so many new things to experience, but let me tell you, you will not be able to do everything, and you really have to narrow it down and pick what's a priority for this specific trip. So instead of trying to make it from rope drop to fireworks every single day with 3 dining reservations and trying to hit every single attraction, and maybe you have even factored in, a little hour-and-a-half break midday, but I'm telling you, even that alone, you are not gonna be able to squeeze everything in. I promise, it's gonna be so much more enjoyable if you leave a little bit of flexibility in your day, a little bit of flexibility throughout your entire vacation, because you are gonna come home feeling exhausted if you don't. And hey, maybe you're thinking, I don't care to come home exhausted, this is our once in a lifetime vacation, but even still, you are gonna get to the end of your vacation and feel so burnt out on that last day because you have over-planned way too much and you tried to pack way too much in. So try to scale back just a little bit, and your days are gonna feel so much more relaxing, and you'll be able to enjoy what you are factoring into your day so much more because you're not rushing from thing to thing, looking at your watch or your phone all day. All right, this next mistake is not being prepared for the weather. Whatever the case may be, there are a lot of directions that could go. So maybe it means that you weren't prepared for the amount of unplanned rain that happened on your vacation. Or maybe it means that you're not prepared for the 100-degree weather in the middle of summer. 100 degrees at home can feel very different than 100 degrees at Disney World. It's just different, trust me. Or maybe it means that you weren't prepared for the chilly nights late fall through the winter, early spring. Even though it's 85 degrees middle of the day, it can get down in the 50s and 40s at night. So that can be a huge bummer if you're wanting to stay out for the fireworks, but it's freezing cold and you're in shorts and a t-shirt. There is nothing worse than not being prepared for whatever the weather scenario is. So do your research based on whatever time of year you're going, and just come prepared with layers, come prepared with ponchos and umbrellas, or the cooling towels and the fan, and all the things for whatever the weather may present. This next mistake to avoid is spending your day waiting in line. You have spent too much money on those park tickets to wait 3 hours in line for Rise of the Resistance, or 2.5 hours in line for Slinky Dog, or whatever the ride is. You do not want to spend the majority of your day just standing there, standing in line, standing and waiting in the heat, especially if you have small kids. That's not fun. So know how to skip the line. My husband and I have this agreement that if there is any kind of wait longer than 20, maybe 30 minutes max, there is no way we are getting in that line. We are not going to spend more than 20, 25 minutes in line for something, especially if we have our 2-year-old. Our rule is like 10, 15 minutes. That's about all we can do with her. So know in advance how to get around the line. There's single rider, there's rider swap, you can rope drop rides, individual lightning lane, just purchase access into the lightning lane, or research Genie Plus and utilize it really well. There are so many ways to avoid that 3, 4, 5-hour wait time for those rides. You do not have to wait in the standby line, especially if that line is longer than 20, 30 minutes. Just avoid it. All right, this next mistake to avoid is not taking a midday break. And this ties into that over planning mistake as well. But if you are not factoring in 1 to 2 hours minimum at the peak of the day, you are gonna get burnout so quick. And that midday break doesn't always have to look like a nap back in the room. It could mean you have a dining reservation over at a resort. It could mean that you're just hanging out by the pool for a couple of hours. I mean, there are so many things you could do to kind of relax middle of the day and get out of the heat and the crowds. But whatever it looks like for you and your family, take that break. It is so necessary for everybody's sanity that you step out of the crowds for at least a little bit and just get off your feet and enjoy just being there. And especially if you have little ones, we have attempted the strategy of going from sunup to sundown and just letting her nap in the stroller. And while that may work great for some people, I would say the majority of babies and toddlers do need some kind of break middle of the day. And again, it doesn't always have to look like a nap back in the room. It does for us. We have to have a nap back in the room with her, but that could mean just hanging out on the hub grass for an hour and just relaxing, or again, a dining reservation, or head over to a resort and just relax in the lobby. Getting out of the crowd and the chaos can be the thing that resets your little one and sets you up well for the rest of the day. So there are so many benefits to taking a midday break, whether you have little kids or not. It's gonna help you feel so much more recharged going into the rest of your evening and then throughout the rest of your week as well. So factor in the midday break and make that a non-negotiable part of your day. All right, this next mistake to avoid on your Disney vacation has 2 parts. The first part being not making any dining reservations. This is one of the worst things you can do when planning for a Disney trip. Maybe you weren't aware that you had to make reservations. Maybe you just assumed that you could join the walk-up list, or maybe your plan originally was, we're just gonna save some money and only do quick service, but then you decide day of that you really do wanna do Cinderella's royal table, but at that point, there is no chance of getting a reservation or joining the walk-up list same day. And the second part to this mistake is maybe you did plan for dining reservations and you had your heart set on Ohana and you were ready to go 60 days out, but there was no availability, or you really had your heart set on a specific time and it just couldn't happen, and so you throw in the towel and think, well, that's that, you know, it wasn't available, so we can't make it happen. And then, you know, you're super disappointed going into your vacation because you had your heart set on this one reservation. So the mistake with that is not continuing to check for availability and not getting set up with mouse dining. So mouse dining is a service that is gonna send you an email or a text letting you know when someone has canceled their reservation at a restaurant, and you get notified so you can log on really quick to try to be the first one to snag that reservation. So you can set all these different alerts, and it's a super helpful tool to find the reservation you're looking for. Sometimes reservations can pop up, I mean, day before, week of, so don't give up. If you have your heart set on Ohana and it's still days before your vacation, you could still find that reservation. It could pop up the day before you leave. So keep checking, have your mouse dining alerts set and ready to go. Don't give up. It's very likely that someone will cancel as you get closer to your vacation and you'll be able to snag that reservation. So make dining reservations, and then if you aren't able to get what you're looking for, don't give up, keep checking. The next mistake to avoid when planning your Disney vacation is paying full price for your Disney resort. There is nothing that is worse than not getting a good deal on a Disney hotel room and you pay an extravagant amount for your room at the Polynesian. I mean, it's just crazy some of the rack rates that I see for this room type. So what you want to do when you are logged into the Disney website is click on places to stay as if you're going to make a reservation for a hotel, and you're going to scroll all the way down and you will see view special offers. And this is where you are going to find all of the discounts that Disney is currently offering. They do not advertise these on their homepage. You definitely have to go searching for them. So always double check what discounts that Disney is offering on Disney hotel rooms. They are always changing every few months. New things are going to pop up. So always double check discounts before you book anything. Another way to save money on your Disney resort is by renting DVC points. This is a way that you can stay at deluxe villa resorts and save anywhere from 30 to upwards of 60% off on that room. We have found some incredible deals through David's Vacation Club Rentals. I have a beginner's guide on how to rent DVC points, and I walk you through the entire process step by step. So I will have that video linked for you down below. So absolutely check it out and just see if it makes sense for your family. I also have a whole playlist of videos if you really want to dive in deep and learn more about renting DVC points. So I'll have that linked for you as well. But do not pay full price for your Disney hotel room. Always check that special offers tab and look into renting DVC points and just see what makes sense for your family, because there, again, is nothing worse than paying full price when you could have saved a significant amount of money on your hotel room. The next mistake to avoid on your Disney vacation is not being familiar with Genie Plus and just showing up and winging it. I will say the Genie Plus system can be a little finicky, and it's taken me a few times to kind of figure out the rhythm of it and where to find things and the lingo and just all the things that go into being really proficient in Genie Plus and being able to really zip through it pretty quickly all day long. What you don't want is that 7 a.m. window to roll around and you have no idea what you're looking for. You don't really know your way around the app very well, and so all of a sudden it's 7:05 and you finally found the ride that you're looking for, but all the good time slots have already been filled and you kind of missed the window. So make sure that you feel prepared going into it. Do some research ahead of time. I'll have some resources linked down below that do a really great job of explaining Genie Plus and how to maximize it, because again, it can be a little complicated if you've never used it before. So again, do some research and even make a list of the lightning lanes that you are hoping to get and some time slots that would be ideal. That way, when you do log in, you know exactly where you're going, you are scrolling to exactly what you're looking for, and you're not wasting time trying to ask your family, hey, what do you guys want? Does this sound good? Does this sound good? You've already kind of talked it through and you know exactly what you're going for, and you can maximize every second at that 7 a.m. window, because I'm telling you, they fly really quickly. So you want to know exactly what you're doing and just feeling equipped and prepared overall. That way you have more time to enjoy at Disney in the parks with your family and less time that you're fumbling around on your phone just trying to figure things out. So again, do your research and get familiar with Genie Plus so that you can feel confident going into your park day. The next mistake to avoid on your Disney vacation is not spending time at your resort. I see a lot of people focus so much on the parks that they miss out on everything that their resort has to offer. So maybe, like I mentioned before, that midday break, you're taking advantage of the pool, or maybe you make a dinner reservation because your resort has a really amazing dining experience offered there. So whatever it is, take advantage of what your resort has to offer, because you're gonna miss out on some of the most magical pieces of Disney, in my opinion. A lot of our sweetest moments at Disney have happened at the resorts, not even in the parks. So to me, the resorts are some of the most magical places to be at Disney. Even if you're not staying there, head on over and just spend some time in the lobby of some of these deluxe resorts. Do a monorail tour or a Skyliner tour, whatever the resort is. Really experience everything that Disney has to offer outside of the parks, because there is so much to see and do. And I mean, there's just some incredible things to see at these resorts, incredible dining experiences, all kinds of fun areas and different free tours and just, I mean, all kinds of fun stuff. So don't miss out on that piece of Disney. The next mistake to avoid on your Disney vacation is not utilizing mobile order or mobile checkout. And this can go along with my mistake of spending your day waiting in line. That not only applies for rides, but it also applies for waiting in line for food, waiting in line for your Starbucks drink, waiting in line to check out because you really want to buy a hat, a t-shirt, and a coffee mug. You know, whatever the line is, you don't want to be spending all of your time waiting in line. Mobile order and mobile checkout are two really easy things to do that cut down on that wait time. Mobile order, you're able to select your arrival time and place your order directly from your My Disney Experience app, and then they will let you know when your food is ready for pickup, and then you don't have to wait in that crazy long line, and you can skip right to the front and grab your food when it's ready to go. Same thing with mobile checkout. A lot of times those lines in the gift shops can get very, very long. So all you do with mobile checkout is you are scanning the barcode with your My Disney Experience app, and you're able to pay for your items directly from your phone. It sends you a QR code, and then you head over to a mobile checkout kiosk, usually stationed at all of the doors around the gift shop. And then all you do is present your QR code. They'll either scan it or they can see on their end your first and last name that you did in fact pay for your order. They'll have a bag for all of your items, and if you have something fragile, they're able to wrap that up for you so that it's travel friendly, and then you're ready to go. And that was pretty much it. We use mobile checkout all the time now. Since we did it one time, we are hooked. There's no other way to do any kind of shopping at Disney now other than mobile checkout. So take advantage of mobile order and mobile checkout. You're gonna save so much time by not waiting in those crazy long lines. And the last mistake to avoid on your Disney vacation is having too high of expectations on your vacation or your family. Especially if you have little ones, it is so easy to almost fantasize what this trip is gonna look like. I'm so guilty of this. And maybe you have factored in the midday break and the nap back in the room and a pool day, and you've done your best to set your day up for success. You have scheduled out all of the breaks, but a lot of times the fantasy can be in how your kids are gonna respond when they meet this character that you're so excited for them to meet, or their reaction when they go on the ride that you are so excited for them to experience. And then they meet the character and they're terrified of the character, or they finally get on this ride and they start screaming and hyperventilating. That was us. A lot of times your day is not going to go according to plan, and that could mean that, yeah, maybe your kids have a few more meltdowns than you anticipated, or they're just not a fan of the rides and the characters, or the show wasn't as much of a hit as you thought it would be, or your flight gets delayed or canceled. We've been there as well recently on our last trip. So there are an array of things that could go wrong on your trip that are out of your control. And if you go into your trip stepping out of this place of it has to be perfect, then you're going to enjoy your time so much more, I promise. Lower the bar just a little bit. Try your best not to fantasize about how these moments, these picturesque moments are gonna go in your mind, and just leave it blank. Leave it just as whatever it's gonna be. And I promise you are gonna find so much joy and magic in a lot of the unplanned moments, honestly. A lot of our favorite moments at Disney with our toddler ended up being her running around in the grass at the Grand Floridian. Another one of our favorite meals was we were eating at Geyser Point, and it was the meal that she didn't have to sit in a high chair, and she ran around the table and ate her chicken nuggets. So those were some of our sweetest moments at Disney, and they had nothing to do with characters or rides or shows or parades or fireworks. And it really does come down to shifting your expectations and, again, lowering the bar just a little bit and being okay with whatever your trip ends up being. And I think that's the best place you can go into your vacation, the best mindset you can go into your vacation with, and it's just gonna be so much more enjoyable. So that is the last mistake to avoid on your Disney vacation, is having too high of expectations. All right, well, that is it for my 10 mistakes to avoid on your Disney vacation. I hope this was helpful. Let me know down in the comments below maybe a mistake that you have made on a Disney vacation and how you would do it differently in the future. So I would love to read through through those. And thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. I share videos twice a week all about Disney planning, tips, money-saving hacks, and vlogs, all kinds of stuff. So if that interests you, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up as well. And that is it for today. I will see you in my next one. Bye.